We're live, baby. We're live. We've got the curtains open today. Now, as you can see, it's a Chrisless show because he's hurt his back. So we wish him well. He might be in the chat. We'll see. I'll put that down. Lucy, I left the curtains open, and Lucy said, "You just want people to see your lawn." And I said, "No, they won't be able to see it." But I thought, "I'll sod it." There you go. There's my lawn. That lawn was an absolute wreck when we got back from Disney World, wasn't it?
Oh, yes.
And
wreck.
I've been doing all sorts. Scarified it. I've aerated it. I've given it a fungal root improver. I've fertilized it. What else have I done? I've cut it. I've watered it. I've done all the things. And look at it now. Anyway, that's enough of that. Shall we do some news?
Well, we could do a podcast about lawns if you prefer, just for a change.
It would be my pleasure.
Is that what people want? Are they here for
We'd call it Lawn and Order. Should we do some news?
Let's do some news.
Okay. Right. I'm going to use the bell in lieu of Chris's sound effects. Bad salmon.
New Year's Eve to be celebrated at the park this year.
Halloween and Christmas return to the parks.
March Hair Refreshments is closed for refurbishment.
And meet Minnie and friends at a new location in the studios. Yep. Can I use this for the chat?
Yeah, you do the chat.
We're all over the place today, guys.
There's a lot going on. I mean, for starters, I didn't finish work until 7:30. So it's all been a bit of a rush and I'm feeling rather dazed, and we don't have Chris here.
He's in the chat though. He says lawns. Is that the name of the podcast? Because I like it. We can just call it Lawns Cubed to the hardcore listeners.
We're nothing but excuses today, are we? But I'm going to get my Disney head on because I have been chatting Disney with some people at work today, so we're on it. Is there anyone we need to say hello to in the chat, Huey?
Well, let's say hello and say all aboard, please. In the chat first today, in the chat was Daisy. So hi, Daisy, and well done. We've also got Claire and John and Caitlin and Alex and Chris. Do you remember Chris?
Chris.
Our Chris.
Chris T. Fletcher.
Timothy. Cheryl's here. Sish Bot's here. And Susie's here. And also
Con and Amelia.
Connor
and Amelia. No?
Is it Con and Amelia or Con and Amelia? Either way, hello to one or both of you.
That feels like a brain training exercise.
It does, yeah.
Trying to split up letters.
Hi, Sam, as well. Sam, you just wait right there because we've got something special planned. Something not so special, but
I know nothing of this.
It's Amelia. She's Amelia. Susie, we will bring your Walt Disney World things over that we got for you. But Lucy's doing competitions for this weekend and next weekend. So hopefully the week after, if you're available, we'll pop over. But maybe we should discuss that, not on the show. Shall we do some news?
Let's do news. Bad salmon. Sorry.
Calm down. Bad salmon. Disneyland Paris has recalled a batch of smoked salmon after discovering the presence of Listeria monoctogene. Is that right? I'll give myself a preemptive. During a quality check, they've traced it back to one of the suppliers. They're saying guests that visited between June the 2nd and June 17th, who've obviously had smoked salmon,
we presume,
must report any fevers or headaches.
Where might they sell smoked salmon? Because that's not at Chateau de la Marionette.
I don't think we're posh enough to know the answer to that.
No. I presume it's going to be buffet restaurants and posh sit-down restaurants if you think you've had the smoked salmon.
You're not going to get it at your Casey's Corner, are you?
Salmon. However, I will say this is very alarming when you see it on social media or you get an email saying, food poisoning, But they're just incredibly vigilant at Disney, and it was in a routine health check that they do regularly that we are very glad of that they do regularly.
We're so glad.
Just happened to pick up traces of this Listeria monocytogen. So don't panic, but just make sure you know if like you grow an extra head or something, it might be worth contacting someone.
Yeah, fevers or headaches, watch out. Anne hello, thanks for listening. Do drive safe. She's listening whilst driving.
She might be using voice text there. We're sure that she won't.
Oh, that's a good point, actually. Interesting. Yeah, how are you doing this, Anne? Don't answer that.
What is this madness?
Don't answer that. Keep your hands on the wheel. We don't want to be held accountable for anything like that. Chris says, Listeria Lane, desperate cast members.
Very good.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good, Chris. This is why we need him here, don't we?
Yeah. We need that.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve to be celebrated at the park this year.
Lucy's been distracted by the chat. It says, by the way, Lucy, this is from Susie. I did book Newport Bay for our wedding anniversary.
Yay! Because she was sending me images going, what do you think? Is this a good choice? Is this a good price? Should I do it? And we were having little chats, and now she's booked it, and I'm excited for you. It's been years since we've stayed at Newport Bay. I think it needs to go up our bucket list just so we can do a resort tour or something. But we're being cheapy off-siters this summer, aren't we?
Dirty off-siters.
Dirty off-siters. But it does mean the only kind of hotel option we've never done. We've stayed on site numerous times. We've stayed off-site at, I want to say, it's not Marne Valley. I think it's the one where you can get that little knot of Magic Circus and Magic Castle and all those places you can get a shuttle bus to. We've also driven and stayed at Village Nature and Davy Crockett Ranch, and the only place we haven't actually stayed is Val de Rupp, which is the other kind of main place where hotels are. So we're staying, actually we have, but we only stayed for one night, didn't we?
What, in that Ibis?
Ibis budget, yeah. We stayed one night and we drove, so we can't really tell. So we're staying in Val de Rupp this time, in a self-catering flat, which we've never done. So we're going to get to report on what the shopping centre's like, what the train ride's like. We're going to be getting the train in every day. So it's going to be a different angle, shall we say. But I'm jealous of the Newport Bay. Suze, I think I'd rather be at Newport Bay. Where was I with my news?
I don't know, but Claire says, I think Inventions had it. Oh, she's talking about they had salmon. Not bad salmon, but they did have salmon. But she says, I'm talking about 5 years ago, and it's not open.
That's a
good
name for a band, don't you think?
Of course it's not open.
Bad Salmon.
Bad Salmon.
I think so.
I feel like it's been done.
Bad Salmon?
Probably not.
That would be an amazing coincidence. That's like Google Whack or something.
I always liked the name Hairy Baby Parade for a band.
You'd have to be rockers, though, of some kind. You'd have to be hairy.
It's electronic, sampley, exotica. This is my band. Hairy Baby Parade.
An incredibly niche genre, but I'm down with
Thank you.
Right, so we're going to have a New Year's Eve celebrated at the park. Now, there was New Year's Eve last year.
Now, there's a couple of these, because I needed you to be here while I was sourcing this news, because it was all these news items are saying, like, this is back and this is back. And I'm thinking, well, did they go away? So the actual wording I've got here is a New Year's Eve celebration will take place at Disneyland Paris via a special ticketed event taking place from 8 p.m. till 2 a.m. on December 31st. The event will feature exclusive entertainment and a fireworks show. Characters will be roaming the park. That sounds terrifying, doesn't it? And you can save 15% on tickets by booking a stay at one of the Disney hotels while purchasing a New Year's Eve party ticket.
I will say this sounds like your full, all pistons blowing, hard ticketed event that we are doing here in 2022, and that is marvellous. I am really, like I say, I've been at work all day, and usually I would research this.
I didn't research it.
Trying to scratch my head as to what they did last year, because they did do something. I don't think they did a hard ticketed event, but if they did, it won't have had roaming characters. It won't have had a fireworks show because was it cancelled? It was cancelled. It was cancelled, wasn't it? Because it shut again.
Yes.
Because it shut just before Christmas. That's why I can't remember.
I'm forgetting that last year things were
still bad.
Still closing and things.
Yeah.
Sheeshbot is staying at Val de Rupp. Is that how we say it? Val de Rupp.
Val de Rupp, yeah.
Not Val de Rupp. Can't wait to see what you have to say. You probably, not me. My videos are a bit lighter on information. I have just finished my first Disney World video, It's on my channel, but it is in the playlists on this channel, so you can find it very easily. We've got a new playlist that's like Walt Disney World vlogs and reports or something that you started. And so there's a bunch from you, and then there's one from me. Yeah, and I'm pleased with it. So do watch it. It's about 23 minutes, you know, which is a nice.
I haven't watched it yet. Because we tend to watch it as a when we do these.
It's an event, isn't it?
We sit down and watch them as a family, going, "Let's all remember our holiday." And Bonnie was unavailable last. Oh no, you didn't finish it till midnight. That's why, or like 11. So Bonnie wasn't up, and me and Bonnie have been out all day. So we need to get maybe over breakfast tomorrow.
Yeah, these people are going to see it before you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's it's all about our. Well, it features 2 of the 4 split stay resorts that we were in, but I don't go into great depth with room tours and things, but so you get a feel for it.
I am very lazy in the vlogging and video making. I really enjoy to just do it. I pick up my camera and I talk to my camera and I go look at all these things that we're looking at, and then when it comes to editing it, I just put those clips together and upload it. Boom. Hugh, actually, you're a bit more.
Well, describe what you saw when you got home yesterday.
Okay. So he had a voice recorder in front of him. He had one of those pianos you blow into.
Melodica.
A melodica next to there. He had 2 laptops and he had his work computer. And bearing in mind he's a graphic designer, that means his work computer is huge.
So I got 3 screens.
With a graphic tablet as well.
Yeah.
So he had 3 screens, 2 musical instruments, a voice recorder and art.
And my phone.
And phone and art. And he was kind of sitting diagonally between them.
I was like Rick Wakeman of video editing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure I entirely get that.
Multiple keyboards.
Yeah. Yes. So he had a lot of that going on. There's skits. There's
Don't put them off.
There's specially composed music. There is graphics and animation. I would check it out. Mine, not so much. But Hugh's, they're an event.
Yours are more sort of useful for the information. Mine are kind of just, something you can relax to and enjoy.
Yeah.
Hello also to Alex was here earlier. Yeah, I think so. But if not, hello again, Alex. Magical by Sarah's here. Cheryl's here.
Hello.
Yeah.
So, kind of piggybacking off the back of this New Year's Eve celebration, Halloween and Christmas are at a return to the parks. Full return of the Halloween and Christmas seasons the way we know them, with the Christmas parade, the Halloween parade, the special characters, I presume they haven't announced all the details yet. They would usually do that late summer, early September kind of thing. But they usually have different shows on the castle stage, and we have every reason to believe this is going to be, quote unquote, a normal year for Disney. I mean, I think that's the news. I don't think telling you there will be Christmas is the news. It's telling you this will be Christmas a la 2019, not Christmas a la 2020. I think that's the news that we've got going on here. So Enchanted Christmas is November the 12th until January the 8th. And Halloween is October the 1st to November the 6th. Now, this is quite a conservative time frame if you have any experience of the Floridian parks at all, where it runs from the 10th of August, isn't it?
I'm trying to think if I would appreciate Halloween at that time of year. But, I mean, Florida is hot and sunny all the time, so it's not like, October comes around and all the leaves turn orange and it's, and you get your big coats on and things.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
You see, we are in the throes of the weather turning, the chill hitting your cheeks, just everything, the nights getting darker and everything. And I can never imagine being at Florida at that time of year, particularly for Christmas. I mean, how do you drink mulled wine while watching a parade? Crazy.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
It's
crazy. I know. March Hair Refreshments is closed for refurbishment.
Yeah.
So this is your little...
It's opposite the windmill, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got the nice chairs.
It's got nice chairs.
It's got a teacup outside it that you can have your photo taken.
They don't sell much, do they?
No.
I remember being in the queue there, and there was a certain drink or something, some kind of fruity drink or something, and then people caught wind in the queue that they'd run out, and people were getting cross. It was hot. I was cross.
When they did the novelty cones, they did like a princess cone and a maleficent cone, I think, and I know that's where they did that. But in these small kiosks, they very often kind of channel themselves into 2 snacks, and that's what you get at that kiosk. I don't know what it's been most recently, but it's generally sort of a seasonal, very limited menu.
I'm sure the last time we went there, you got a Sprite or something.
Quite possibly. I mean, if you want a Sprite, you want a Sprite, don't you? You just go wherever you can for a Sprite.
Yeah. There's a mouse popping out of the teapot at the back there. It's easy to miss, actually, but every so often the mouse pops out and there's some smoke coming out of the teapot. And Bonnie looked at it once and she said, he's drunk.
Yeah. Tell me about this. Minnie and Friends at a new location in the studios.
Yes, in studios, you go down that corridor with the neon stripy lights, where you could also watch the screening of the Lion King show, and where we met the Avengers. It's now you can meet Minnie and Friends, and I've seen pictures of it. There's like, you know, some pink scenery up, and you know, like a little setup there. It looks cute. I don't know who the friends are. I imagine it's, you know, is this Minnie led but Mickey's there? I don't know. So can you have Minnie without Mickey?
The thing is, once they open Avengers Campus, they have to kind of officially expunge all Avenger traces from kind of east of...
Snap them out of existence.
Yeah, so to speak, west of the entrance to Avengers Campus, don't they? So they can no longer do those meets and greets. And they used to having a really good stunt show in there that I think was only there for 2 seasons, which is a really big shame. But, I mean, it's got to go. It might turn up in Cars, Motors, Actions one day. So that's now Minnie and Mickey. But, no, sorry, just Minnie. Minnie and Friends. But I will say it is a good meet location. We liked what they'd done in there, didn't we?
When I read it, I don't know if it was a typo, it said Minnie or Friends.
Oh, it probably will be our Friends.
Really?
Well, that's what they do down at the back in the animation courtyard. They just...
I guess that's how you word it, so that you know, you can't 100% expect Minnie, can you?
Yeah.
Because she might need a break.
They work it out. They often say that, like, in different... If you read the map, it'll say Winnie the Pooh or Friends. And some days it'll be Tigger.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Claire says, isn't that where she was during Women's Month? In the infamous pantsuit.
Oh, the infamous...
Is that right?
Yes, it was,
I can't remember. Yeah.
It is.
There you go.
Now, I do know this isn't exactly news, but some of the accounts with media clearance, which we don't have, had been sort of teasing the official Avengers map, but it hadn't been on the app for normal pros. Well, if you go onto your phone and update the app, it now has the actual map.
Because I tried that and it wasn't updated.
Well, it didn't.
Just had an A there.
This time last week, but it does now. It was a couple of days ago. So, I mean, I can do that to you.
Hold it up.
So you can see
Listeners, she's holding up a map. Let's try and focus on that.
But I think we should... Well, I'll keep it held there for a minute. But if we're going to talk about it now, so you might want to play along at home. You might want to... Unless you're watching this on your phone, in which case it's difficult, isn't it? But get it up on your phone at home so you can see. What I am confused and unimpressed by is the clip art Avengers they've put on top of the Iron Man roller coaster.
They're flying above it.
Because,
flying.
Yeah, but they don't do that on any other ride, in any other park.
I think they've had to do something because there's no other way, because of the angle it's at, you can't see it, can you? So they've had to put something there.
Yeah, but all rides are seen from that angle. You don't see them putting Crush on the top of Crush's coaster. I know you can kind of see it from the front.
You can see the front of that, though.
Yeah. So...
Because otherwise it's just a big square block and you don't know what it is.
And it's got all the official names on. So that's called Avengers assemble flight force. We did know that. But then it also says F.R.I.D.A.Y, Friday, but in acronyms. So
Acronyms.
As an acronym. So have I missed something about what that Friday there is all about?
Can you meet Friday?
Because that's the computer, isn't it? In Stark Towers.
Is that the Irish lady? Who's Friday? Is that the Irish voice?
Yeah, maybe.
It's not Jarvis. Did Friday replace Jarvis? I can't remember.
We've got the Hero Training Centre. It's all becoming very real now that you can move around. Because I've seen images and updates and promos for these things, but somehow I didn't know where everything was. So right next to it, towards Cars Motors Action, you've got oh no. Yeah, there it is. The Hero Training Centre there. So that was Cars Motors Action here. Hero Training Centre there. So that's where you're going to do your specialised meet and greets, where they've got the matrix cameras that'll do you in like a 180 photos. That's going to be quite
Bullet
fun.
time.
Bullet time, that's what I was looking for. Opposite that, at kind of the bum end of what used to be the worst attraction in Disneyland Paris, Armageddon. You've got Mission Equipment, they're calling it there. That'll be a shop, won't it? That's your shop. And then you've got some more clip art of Black Panther.
Bombay.
Bombay.
What's he doing?
But he's on the roof next to Spider-Man Web Adventure. Now, he does not belong there, because as far as I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't watched any walkthroughs from California, but Black Panther is not involved in the Spider-Man Web Adventure thing.
He's over the shop.
So what I think, well, there's going to be some rooftop stunt performers, isn't there?
Yeah.
So I think that will be where the rooftop stunt performers are. That makes the most sense, because there appears to be a good flat roof where people can stand and watch, and it's between the shop and the web thing. And then, of course, opposite there, in the big block that used to be Blockbuster Cafe and Restaurant de Stars, you've got Pim Kitchen and Stark Factory. Again, we're just looking at the top of a lot of grey buildings.
We're going to Pim Kitchen with Chris.
Yay!
He booked it.
Chris got us, our next trip with actually overlap with the Fletcher crew. Well, Chris managed to get us a booking for 7 people on the Monday for Pim Kitchen. So we're going to be doing a review of Pim Kitchen, which I'm very excited about. And we've got all the kids there to give their thoughts. We'll get a good selection of food and drinks so we can tell you everything. So that's very exciting. Do you want the...
Oh, no, I want YouTube.
YouTube back.
Yeah.
Because our live chat's gone, because I've been using my phone for other things.
Yeah, Chris said something. He said, I think the front of the building does clever things.
Yeah, it's like it's an LED canopy.
John actually beat him. He said, I think Friday is the LED facade that she will interact with guests during the day.
Oh, so they're actually giving the canopy a name. Interesting. I mean, I knew the canopy did the LED and the fluttering and the shapes and things, but that's good to know.
Yeah.
Thank you, John, for knowing that.
Also good to know, Lucy.
Yes.
Sam apparently is sending those ears, the new ears that she's making for us to give away.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
lovely.
It's Sam's birthday. Chris normally plays a birthday jingle. So for her 30th birthday, we're going to sing her a song.
Can I just stop you before you do?
Yeah.
We're out of news now. We're unplanned.
Can you tell?
And our third wheel has gone. So, if anyone has any questions, now would be a good time to type them while this song is beautifully performed by my lovely husband.
Oh, I'm rubbish at this, so I'll mess it up. But I'm going to sing Happy Birthday in the style of... Should I do it in the style of Stitch?
Okay.
Okay. How? So this is for Sam on her 30th birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. And many more. You just stared at me throughout that.
I did. Thinking, is this what I'm married? But happy birthday to Sam. Happy 30th birthday.
Oh, and here's some interesting news for you. You know my beloved Stormtrooper park bag? Got to have a park bag, guys. Just a little bag. Mine, it got a bit tatty in Walt Disney World, you know. I got the use out of it. So I immediately bought another one. So the king is dead. Long live the king. I've got a new Stormtrooper bag, exactly the same. Lucy was saying that I do tend to do this. Once I find something I like, I'll just try and keep buying that in, you know, perpetuity. Yeah, this is my park bag. It's got a hard case. One of the security guards in Florida loved it. Is going, wow, I've never seen this one before.
It's good. It's a good size.
It cost about 20 quid this time, you know, with the delivery. It's quite. I think that's quite a lot for a small child's bag, but I'll get good use out of it. It
fits a deceptive amount in it, though, doesn't it?
It does
you never feel like you need a bigger bag, do you?
No.
I mean, we both take a bag each. I know some people, like one family member takes a massive bag.
Wasn't this black before?
I don't know.
I think it was. This is nicer.
Or maybe it was just dirty.
Yeah.
Does anyone ever do that thing where they throw something away while they're still on holiday so they don't have to take it back? Like I had a pair of sunglasses that was getting a bit, and I just thought, I'll chuck them.
We did
so
that.
We threw away quite a lot before we came back.
We did that with a pushchair.
Oh, we did.
Did we leave it in Spain?
Yeah.
Did we just leave it in the airport, or
no?
Or did we not collect it from baggage claim? It was a bit naughty what we did.
Yeah.
Because, we did something that's a bit naughty, like we just left it somewhere, you know, instead, you know, just thinking they'll deal with it.
Let me ask how you feel about this chat. And I'm a bit in between with it. You will often see on...
Bye, Chris. Hope you feel better.
Bye, Chris. You'll often see on Disney forums, on Facebook and things like that, people saying, hi, we're leaving tomorrow. There's a 6-pack of water and some sun cream outside room 206 if anyone wants to come and get it. So I know it's kind of like, the idea is that you're kind of passing on something that someone else can come and get. But I often wonder, it's just people who don't want to take things home. And sometimes people just leave piles of things. Like, you know, just anything they don't want to put in the bag and they just leave it in a pile, either in the laundry room or outside their room. And I think it must drive the cleaners potty. And does anyone ever go and get them? Has anyone ever gone and thought, oh, I will go get that 6-pack of water and taken it? Or is it just kind of, you know, littering under the guise of generosity? I'm not sure. And jury's out. If I thought people were genuinely going to be like, oh, we need that, we're grateful, thank you, pixie dust has been passed on, I might do it. But I wonder if it's more inconvenient than anything else.
I think people are trying to, like...
I think they're trying to
do a nice thing and not waste it.
Yeah.
Did I apologise for the awful thumbnail at the top of the show?
No.
I didn't do that. When you set up a live, it literally gives you about 3 seconds to take a picture. You know, it goes smile, and you go, and I went, oh, and I grabbed 2 cups, only once in shot. So that's that's what that thumbnail's about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then we've altered it already.
But what's good to know is that Hugh is never more than 3 seconds away from a tiki cup.
Well, I got near the cups. I think it's going to be quick, but it was way quicker than I expected. Yeah. So so that's my ticking off my final list. Is apologise for thumbnail.
Oh dear.
We have some trip reports that we're going to do next week, probably now, from...
because Chris is our admin, you see. So he has them.
Let me just double check. Oh, get rid of that. Here we go. Oh, I know one's Ginger Fox, because Ginger Fox just said they left the pushchair at Sequoia Lodge last Friday. So there's that. Ginger Fox and Amelia have trip reports. We'll do those next week when Chris is back. We did have some questions that we've got time for if you want to look at them.
Yeah, please.
Chris sent us them. Oh no, he didn't. They're
so they're here.
Where did I put them? They're on Instagram. Have you got Instagram on there? No.
I do. I don't use it. I just need to know that I'm like signed into the right accounts and stuff. Is this the Disney account or my account?
It looks like yours.
It's got dancers on it.
Never mind. We'll do it next time.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'd do it on here, but it's streaming.
Okay.
I can get to them, but not without interrupting the screen. So yeah, should we just have some questions? Should we take some questions?
Let's take some questions. We need to get a chat tomorrow.
Have you had a chance to watch Multiverse of Madness yet? Claire, Lucy had already seen it. I watched it on Wednesday when it came onto Disney Plus. I quite liked it. Some bits I didn't like. In general, I liked it. It was worthy of the ice cream because if a new Marvel film comes out, we get a tub of Ben and Jerry's. And sometimes if you're watching a film and it's not very good, I feel like it doesn't deserve the Ben and Jerry's to go with it. And I think it deserved it. There's one spoiler in particular. I won't spoil it, but I kept seeing. I'd heard rumors about. It was a fan theory that came to pass, and I kept seeing a thumbnail of it. And at first, I dismissed it. I thought, oh no, that's just another fan thing. But I saw this thumbnail enough times that it did spoil that, and that would have been a great surprise if I'd just not seen these thumbnails by new rock stars on YouTube. You know the one.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a shame because it was nice to see it, but I just know how surprised I would have been to have.
The cinema reacted.
Did they?
The cinema reacted.
It's great that that's happening now because to any Americans watching, I don't know if you've ever been into a British cinema, but they are silent.
No, when I say reacted, I heard some people go, oh.
Interesting.
You don't get the cheers. Not in Britain.
In No Way Home, that's the most reaction I've ever heard. I heard one guy go, "Oh yes!" And then there was cheering for the other surprise. I think I would pass spoilers for No Way Home.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no point me saying it anyway, just in case, is there?
Amelia says, have you done a classics review of Sleeping Beauty?
Oh. It was the first one we did. Sorry,
No.
I'm thinking of Snow White. Yes, we have done.
Sleeping Beauty.
So it'll be like the...
We've done all the classics up to and including Ralph Breaks
12th one we did or something? I don't know.
Actually, we've done all the classics basically because the other ones we've been coming out and doing as reviews when they happen. So we've done all the classics. The thing is, I was feeling a bit contrary that day. And I really slated it. I really slated Sleeping Beauty. I think I had some good points. But I think it's not my favourite. And so I wanted to demonstrate that. But then when you two were so enthusiastic about it, I started to get a little bit contrary, basically.
So you doubled down.
I did. I doubled down, which I often do, which is a bad habit of mine. So I was quite scathing in my marking Sleeping Beauty. I've since regretted it slightly.
I only do that on the show when you and Chris, I feel like you're getting at me for my opinion.
Yeah.
And then I get defensive.
It's like, this is going off on a tangent here, but we're all big musical theatre fans. Well, so many people that we know are Sondheim worshippers. They absolutely love Stephen Sondheim. Now, if I'm being really honest with myself, I like bits of Sondheim. I don't like bits of Sondheim. I can take and leave other things. But because some of our friends worship him almost like a religion, I do tend to go around going, I hate Sondheim. I hate him. I hate Stephen Sondheim. And I don't. I think I'm just, because they're so enthusiastic, it pushes me in the other direction. It polarizes me.
Yeah. Not everything has to be black and white. There's a lot of very important arguments at the moment. And I can genuinely see point on both sides. The
grey area is probably where the truth
people
is.
demand that you have an opinion either way, and sometimes you just think, you know what, I don't know what I think about this. I don't know. I do know what Caitlin thinks about leaving things behind, though, and that's she says if you have a taker before you go, someone wants to take it, that seems fine, but otherwise it just seems it's just passing work onto housekeeping.
I think it depends what it is. I do agree that the pushchair thing can be quite useful if there's a family, getting towards the end of the stay, that's useful. And again, maybe a bottle of water would. But sometimes people leave piles of T-shirts and stuff and, half-used bottles of sun cream, that kind of thing. And I think a lot of it's rubbish.
Sometimes it's just litter.
Yeah.
Pauline does see the benefit of people leaving buggies and things because they're always useful for people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you do listen to our Sleeping Beauty thing, I remember getting into a bit of a hole talking about the depiction of what's she called? Briar Rose, yeah. And then correcting myself, and it got messy. So just be prepared for that, and know that I was just digging myself into a hole.
Oh, well, I think I went down the feminist route as well, because she's got the fewest speaking lines of any princess, and she spends half the film asleep, and it's just very passive.
And isn't she drawn with the fewest lines?
Quite possibly.
No, I think she is. I think
she's an absolute she's a terrible princess.
Was it about three years ago we did that review?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking back now, but I'm sure we said something. I think we made that observation that she is made of the fewest lines. So she had the fewest lines.
I mean, the whole concept of the whole Disney princess thing is quite problematic in itself. It's got a lot better in recent years, but I think she is the apex of a problematic Disney princess, in my opinion.
Claire, I'm excited for Love and Thunder 2.
Yes.
Can't wait. It looks good. And I saw Taika Waititi. Is that right? Yeah. Was saying, someone asked him if it was anything to do with multiverses, and he said, no, it's a single universe film. But yeah, like, not everything has to be multiverse, does it?
No.
That's not just like the thing now, because then it's too broad, is that, if everyone can go into the multiverse all the time, it's just like you can excuse anything.
You can travel through space and time, and you can have infinite actors playing the same roles, or the same actor playing infinite roles, and all of a sudden canon means nothing. And the thing is, if
Star Wars, you just go, oh well, it was the Force.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who excuse bad writing in Star Wars by saying, well, I presumed he was just using the Force to do that, and that's not good enough. It isn't good enough. Just if it isn't even remotely hinted at in the script or on screen, you can't just go, well, I think it was because he was using the Force. No, they would show us it.
We've got some countdowns going on. Pauline is 34 days away from Disneyland Paris. Daisy is 29 days away. How many are we? We're about 40, are we?
I remember it was about 50 last week, wasn't it?
Let me see. I'm going to tell you. I have a countdown on my phone.
I'm going to say 44. I'm going to guess 44.
41.
Oh, I went the wrong way.
41 days. So you're there before us. So you might be able to come back and give us some tips.
Ginger Fox was asking people all morning if they wanted the pushchair, but nobody wanted it.
Pauline says we've been packed since February. Pauline, you're preaching to the choir here. I am permanently packed for Disney. I have an actual Disney suitcase in the garage that is already packed with everything I need for Disney, and then I just kind of move things around and tweak them.
Alex says, oh yeah, Lucy reckons I just rock up the day before with a plastic bag and some wet socks back.
He does.
I'm getting better at packing.
You
I'm
are.
quite good. Also, I find it helps to, if you've got like an extensive list, keep that note in your phone for next time, because it's very handy to look down at, because you don't have to think once then, don't you? Not every time you go. Alex says, what did you guys think of the final episode of Obi-Wan? I've been a bit like, it's all right, it's fine. But yeah, they've been opening up plot holes just by the the very existence of this thing for me. But I really liked the last episode. I thought it was pretty decent, and even though I've seen so many like sci-fi and comic book websites doing Facebook posts saying this New Hope thing was finally solved with one line in Obi-Wan. There's loads of them. I tweeted about it the other day. I'm like, oh, can you stop with this? But actually, there was a line about when Obi-Wan says he murdered your father. They do a good job of cleaning that up, actually. But it's a bit daft how, like I was saying to you, and something else I tweeted was that in Empire Strikes Back, Obi-Wan says, that boy was our last hope, and Yoda says, no, there is another. Another one there is. And Obi-Wan should know that. And then I went on to say, there at the birth you were. Spent an entire spin-off series with her, you did.
That is a bit daft.
So him saying that boy was our last hope, you'd think he'd know there was another hope.
I just want to give a big huzzah to Ewan McGregor's acting in general for the whole series. I think he's excellent and underrated, and I'm really glad that he got this time to shine.
I think, yeah, but yeah, and he was in the suit as well this time, wasn't he? Probably on a walkway because he's not tall enough. And I think because James Earl Jones's voice in Rogue One was starting to sound its age, but I think they've been he's credited, but I think they've been using AI for Vader's voice because it does sound right. It doesn't sound like James Earl Jones as he is now because he's about 90 or something. I think they've been using AI to do it. Ooh, the things they can do now.
We did say that about Hayden Christensen's voice, though, didn't we? It's like his voice sounds 40.
Yeah, there's one scene where
they needed to lift the pitch a bit.
There's one scene where it's supposed to be a flashback, and
yes, that's what I mean. Not when he's been Darth Vader.
Yeah, you can tell it's not a flashback. It was filmed like last week.
Because he's got the bags under his eyes. Right, let's talk about Disneyland Paris. I know we like to talk about Disney Plus, but there's people tuning in because they're excited about the holidays. I got a question on one of my videos about currency cards. So just super quickly, we all use Revolut cards, and what it is you just get, have you got it in your wallet? You get a debit card and you load it up with money in your own currency. Yeah, cover the numbers.
No, I'm just covering my name, even though everyone knows my name. I'm just being extra cautious covering my name.
So you load it up with your own currency.
It's iridescent, like the 30th anniversary colours.
And you get an app, and you can exchange money on the app. Now, I use it in a certain way, in that I put money on it weekly, all year. I just keep putting a little bit on at a time, a tenner here, £20 there, to save up for the next trip. And I also keep a very close eye on the exchange rates. So like a few months ago, when the exchange rate went up to 141, well, it's about 6 months ago, for the dollars this is, not for euros, I jumped on it and I changed all the money that was on my Revolut card then. Well, it's a good job I did, because by the time our trip came, it was down to 124 or something ridiculous.
Yeah, I tend to wait until the last minute, until the exchange rate's really bad. That's when I get my money on there.
You get the benefit of just, because you can just check the exchange rate on the app, of just being able to kind of stalk the exchange rate and look for a good deal. But also, Hugh does it a bit differently, in that when we were abroad, he was actually just kept loading it back up, didn't you? Rather than like I load it up in advance, you just keep loading up. But you avoid bank fees that way, because you are spending on a card in the correct currency. You're exchanging it on an app without exchange fees, etc., etc. So it is just a really good system. So anyone who's never, I don't know the others because we use Revolut, but I think the post office do them.
Chase. There's one called Chase. But I think it's actually, I think I'm right in saying this, it's more protected, because Revolut, I don't think it's quite as protected as, is it called Chase?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
I think it's called Chase.
That's what we use.
It's more protected. If you lose your money, you're more likely to get it back. I'm not saying Revolut's risky, but like we wouldn't put so much on that it would be a complete disaster to lose that money. But
I don't know.
So anyway, Chase is another option. Another option is dollars.
Now, interestingly though,
I've got them in my wallet still.
I barely take cash now to Paris or to Florida. I will like remember the week before to go and change £30, and I just then keep that folded up in the back of my bag or the back of my wallet or whatever for an emergency. And the emergency in Disneyland Paris is there has been instances where the entire system has gone down, the card system, only for like 2 hours, I think, or something, but it was absolute chaos. We weren't there, we saw it on Twitter, but it was chaos because the card system had gone down. And for times like that, it's okay if you just happen to have 30 euros tucked away. But I don't take cash other than that.
I take about 2/3 on the Revolut, or eventually from topping up, it will work out as that, and about a third as cash.
So you can top it up on the go, you can exchange on the go. And the nice thing is, when you get home, if you've still got euros left on, you can exchange it back into pounds, and then you can just spend it in the UK in pounds. Or if you're listening to it, because it was actually, I believe, an American lady who was asking me, you can do the same in America, then you can go and spend it in America. So is it rattling?
It's clacking on the table.
Okay, I'll put it on. Oh, it's cold.
That was a necklace, listeners.
Yeah.
What else with that? Revolut. Revolut is good. We've used it for. I think. Well, since 2019, we've been using it, haven't we?
I think I've got referral codes that I can email people. If anyone is like, "Oh, that sounds good," just drop us a message with your email, and I'll email you a referral code, because I think we can both benefit out of that. never want to pass up a an opportunity.
I'm supposed to be getting 50 quid's worth. Was it 30 quid's worth of Curry's vouchers, because someone at work is joining my mobile network. Like, what can I do with 30 quid's worth of Curry's vouchers? I just get some batteries.
Go towards something.
It's going to get 30 quid's worth of double A's.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing my dad would do. You go, well, they're always useful. That's free money. You want to get something special, don't you? But what can you get for 30 quid? I don't know. Yeah. Any more questions?
Sorry, it's habit to lock my phone. Meant to be on it.
Aaron, hi all. Very late today. I had a nap and just did not wake up till now.
Honest.
That's fine, Aaron. You deserve it. I had a nap today, actually, watching Rick and Morty. I think I slept through 2 episodes. It's quite a lot. Yeah.
Sometimes I get students late to class and they're just really honest. They just go, "Sorry, I'm late, miss. I just wasn't looking at the clock."
Yeah, we've got a friend who he was so late. Was that you?
Yeah.
Okay. He was so late that it was always 20 minutes, so you could kind of bank on it. Or he'd be like inconveniently early. Like I think for my 18th birthday, he turned up like an hour and a half early to my house. I was getting ready. You know what I mean? It's just I was at my parents' house, and I just, what are you doing here? But yeah, he once turned up, and he always had an excuse, but this time he just went, "I'm just late."
Yeah.
He said, I've been waiting. I think I was on my own waiting for him for like an hour, and he went, "Yeah, no, I'm just late." The arrogance.
You know what you don't want to be late for? Early magic time. I keep trying to get us back to Disneyland Paris. I did a Q's tip video this week if anyone wants to watch it. But the thing is with these tip videos is as soon as I've finished, I think of 20 other tips. If you go into, first of all, apparently they now have Big Thunder Mountain on early magic time, which for a long time they didn't, because that's the one everyone wanted, because it's such long queues, and they didn't. They only had Fantasyland and Discoveryland. So it could be an interesting experiment to see whether that does save you time, because quite often when they have very popular rides in early magic time, so many people think they're going to use that. So many people go to that ride all at rope drop that it ends up being a really long queue. And you might actually be better waiting a bit afterwards, unless you can get the front of the pack. So it'll be interesting to see how that's going. But I didn't mention Princess Pavilion. We've rope dropped Princess Pavilion 3 times now, and I would say it's the only way of doing it, really.
It's not nice, though, is it, to be in that rush? Even if people are walking,
there's a feverishness, isn't there?
And if someone's dawdling in front of you, the first time we did it, literally, like, everyone was at the rope, and then the rope went, and everyone went forward, except the people right in front of us. Do you remember that? And I was just, I wanted to shove them.
Yeah.
And obviously I never would, but I wanted to go, "What are you doing? We got princesses to meet." This is, when you look at your life and you think, "What am I doing?" And you're angry that someone's in your way to meet a princess. It'd be worth it if it was that Ariel with the hairy belly that someone once told us they saw.
Daisy says, "Do you think Magic Hour will still be 1 hour in the summer, or will it go back to 2 hours?" They've released a lot of the times for I think they're gone at least a month ahead now, which takes you into summer holidays, and it only appears to be an hour. So I would be very surprised if they sprung 2 hours on us now, although it would be nice. And also, they can change the times at a drop of a hat. They have done. They've changed them with a week's notice, and just depending on demand and staffing. But I think they might still be having personnel difficulties. My guess would be it's going to stay an hour all this year, but just keep checking.
Magical by Sarah. This is the thing. She said they queued for 4 hours for Cinderella, and when they got to the front of the queue, Cinderella was Aurora. Had a very disappointed little girl.
Oh no. How? I'm asking, like, they've done. I'm not even sure how they're doing this at the moment. At one point, they advertised 2 different princesses, or one princess, but there's 2 rooms. There's 2 of them. And then they just went to not advertising princess who was in there at all, but the cast members would tell you. And then it got to the point where the cast members wouldn't tell you. And I think it's for this reason, in that they would change shifts halfway through sessions, and they didn't want people to be disappointed. But had they told you at the door that it was Cinderella, or had they advertised that it was Cinderella, or...
Two people in the chat are going, 4 hours? Yeah, I kind of skipped over that, but 4 hours?
We
That's
waited
dedication.
a very long time for Moana, didn't we?
Yeah, it was only about an hour though, wasn't it?
Well, what it was we joined the queue a good sort of half an hour before the meet and greet was due to open. And then, but we were at least half an hour back in the queue.
I'll tell you what.
So
she was a bit of a disappointment. Sometimes you get the character meets and they're all business. You know what I mean? You go up to her, and Bonnie was dressed like Moana, wasn't she? And she was just like, right, okay, come over here. You do want a bit more. There's a bit of my video where Goofy, he looks like he's due his break because he just ends that conversation, doesn't he, and walks off. I put, see ya.
It's very difficult because there are human beings who are doing quite emotionally demanding jobs to sort of perform and interact for that long, and they might be getting physically hot in the suits and things like that, but then also in their clothes. But at the same time, your magical moment has been so long coming and has cost you so much logistically and financially that it's very disappointing when you don't get that magical moment. Having said that, for anyone who's going for the first time, we found, 19 out of every 20 meets and greets we've done have been brilliant. The cast members are excellent, but occasionally you'll get one that's just a little bit...
I am the kind of person that remembers the bad ones. The Buzz in Hollywood Studios, he shushed some kids that were shouting out, is it Buzz Leclerc in France?
I don't know.
They were going, Buzz Leclerc, Buzz Leclerc, and he looked over Bonnie's head and he just went, shh.
Yeah.
Aaron says they're going in late September after school holidays. Wanted to focus on meeting characters this time. Any tips for shorter times, etc.?
That's a really tricky one. In the meet and greets around the parks, as in the ones that are outdoor that are advertised with the tiny little character heads, my tip would be to join the queue 20 minutes to half an hour before they're advertised to arrive, because as soon as people see the character, then they want to get in the queue. But having said that, that means that you've committed to at least 20 minutes wait, because you've joined that line 20 minutes before it starts to go, and if you're not the first person in the line, so on and so forth.
Bye, Sarah.
It's being able, if that's what you're doing is meeting characters, it's very easy to just kind of walk past, look at the queue and go, no, let's try another one, let's come back. I tell you what, the ones at the back end of Frontierland, we've met Jessie and Woody there before.
Oh, Jessie's good.
Up by the playground. They're often fairly short queues because they don't get foot traffic passing them particularly, so they don't get people joining the queue on the whim. And also, Minnie in her cowgirl outfit is just adorable.
She was outside
Cowboy Cookout.
Yeah.
And granted, when we went last time, it was still COVID time, so everything was a bit weird. But we walked past her, she had no queue, and the photopass photographers were going, does anyone want to come and meet Minnie? But she's hidden in such a way that you can't see her. Now, the ones in Fantasyland, you get people like Alice, Wicked Queen,
Peter Pan in front of the ship.
Yeah, they get a lot of foot traffic and families with children on a whim going, oh, look, there's Alice there.
Chip and Dale just down that little side path near Colonel Hathie's.
They can be quite, they get quite short waits, I think, down those areas. And also, at the back of Hakuna Matata, there's this really good little area that I would go even if there's no character meets there, because there's like statues of Car and it's just really atmospheric. We always take a little walk over that bridge, don't we? But that's got meet and greets there, and that's quite tucked away.
But yeah.
So it's good to know where the secret ones are that don't get as much foot traffic. But having said that, it's not like rides where there are like times and fast passes and early magic hours. You might just have to stick it out. And rope drop Princess Pavilion.
But Aaron, if you're committed, if that's what you're doing on your next trip, then I mean, you could say, well, if you commit to it, maybe you just have to be prepared for the queues. But no, if you can get there early for some of them, if you can just find the ones that are a bit further out around the edges, then you should have a good time.
Not getting footfall, I think, is the main way.
Yeah, Aaron says, I was really annoyed I didn't queue for Cowboy Goofy last time. I'll definitely check out Frontierland. The only character I met was Stitch. He was fantastic, but I need more.
They're still doing one Line Bertie one in front of...
Is that still going?
In front of Phantom Manor, and it's been like Bat costume Mickey, it's been Bat costume Stitch, it's been Jack Skeleton and things. It's worth seeing what's there and what the situation is now. I wish I could be 100% up to date for you. Last time we were there, that was still a Line Bertie one.
Isn't it Jack Skellington?
Skellington.
It's nearly past.
Is it?
Any final
Doesn't time fly?
Questions? Moana was about an hour, says Claire, but that was in 2017 when she was still quite new.
Yes, I think that's when we did it. In the Art of Animation.
We did it in 2018, I think. I remember, because in there, it's just a room with a queue, and I don't like that. At least, like, in a corridor, it kind of changes. But if you're just in the same room going around in a snake, it's soul destroying. But mind you, in there, they have artwork. Once you get to a certain point, there's artwork on the walls, isn't there?
We also, it was just, when we went last August, it was really quiet because of travel restrictions, etc. But we walked into Art of Animation, and again, there was Olaf there with no queue.
Yeah.
And it was just like, and he would just...
It was so quiet, you could hear his feet clomping on the ground.
And you could tell that they were like, somebody come and chat with me. And then we went back through again because there's a shop in there, and I'd seen something I wanted to go in. And he was still on his own, and he was like waving us over. I'm like, oh, we've already had our photo. Thank you, though.
Sad. Alex says, if you like Max from Goof Troop, you're in luck, because he only had a queue of about 3 people every day when we were there.
The best characters.
Max fans?
The best characters to meet, and not necessarily your favourite characters. Pluto and Goofy are always brilliant because they're just funny with you, and they're a bit, like silly and playful and bouncy. And I can imagine Max being a bit the same.
Yeah. Some of my favourites have been, because I'm not big on character meets, but the ones that stand out, Jessie was really good with Bonnie, because wasn't she dressed...
she was dressed as Tinkerbell, but it was a birthday. She had a birthday badge on. And
she took her by the hand and they went for a walk together. That was really nice. Chewie was good in Disney World. Although if you see on my new video, the other Chewie wasn't so great in Florida. he just decided, I've had enough of you now. And he just walked off.
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader's a good one.
By the way.
He won't choke you. You can stand next to him and go, but like he said to us, I don't think so. So you can't say, oh, choke me, please. He won't choke you.
But he's got...
that Aladdin that we saw on the first trip. Really white
lovely.
teeth. There's a time that you could look up Aladdin meets Disneyland Paris on Google and you could find him. And I found him, and I saw some people commenting on a thread about how good he was. And he was great. Really white teeth. He was a good one.
Mm.
Yeah, when you get a good one, it is good. Especially if you can have some bants with them.
The Darth Vader one, he's got his own permanent meet and greet outside Star Tours, and you go into like a little corridor, and he comes out to you, and I will tell you, it is genuinely a bit alarming. When you feel quite threatened. Not that he does anything; he's just so big, and you can hear him breathing, and he lurches towards you. Might be worth warning a teeny weeny if you're taking them, but no, he's good.
Claire says, Goofy put chocolate on my nose in 2012.
No.
Yeah. That's a good place to end it, don't you think?
I think so. If only could lick it off.
Yeah.
Right, okay, guys. Are we doing the after show extra magic time?
Not this week, no.
Because we've no Chris, so we've no sort of abilities to do the clever things that Chris does. So I'm really sorry, Patreons. We will make it up to you. 100%. We're not sure how yet. But I'm sure.
We'll just do an extra good one next time.
Might do 40 minutes instead of 20. Whoa, Nelly. Whoa,
just
Nelly.
Calm down.
Let's see.
Calm down. Yeah.
So, thank you all very much for joining us.
Watch my video.
Watch Hugh's video.
It's in the playlist on this channel.
And bye-bye.
Bye. We should just sit here awkwardly.
I know, because I realise there's not Chris to lean over and do the turning off thing.
Bye, everyone. I hope this is it.